Welcome back, comic book collectors and enthusiasts. My name's Brandon. You're watching M.O.N.Comics. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Happy Friday. I hope you all had a great week. I'm kind of behind in my footage because when I do the Big 5 Live, I really don't want to push myself and put out 2 videos. It's a lot of work. I just try to highlight the people that are coming on my show each day, and I'm making new intros for that. And it just takes time. So this video is actually stemming from 2 weeks ago when I got to take a Saturday and go with my coworker friend Brian, who just got into comics. Didn't want to be on camera right now, and that's cool. If he ever wants to, he's always welcome to be. But we went up to Syracuse with the goal of hitting up 2 things. The first was Toyfest number 5, which was held at the New York State Fairgrounds. This was appealing because there was comics and toys, but also we both went to Syracuse Collector Con like a month ago, and with that admission into that, you could get into the show for free. So I was like, you know, this is kind of a no-brainer if we can go up and get another show based off our admission from the last one. So we wanted to take that chance to go up. So let me hit you with the footage. Guys, keep in mind, I am not a great on-location filmer. My whole shtick is, you know, getting comics sent to me in the middle of nowhere. It's very few and far between that I get to go out and actually hunt comics. So please, you know, I know that some of this footage isn't the best, but I'm really trying hard to work at it when I'm out there. So let me just show you a little footage of the show. Hey guys, Brandon from M.O.N.Comics. I am at Toyfest in Syracuse, New York today. They have some comics. I'm here with a friend, co-worker from work who just started collecting. We're gonna go see what trouble we can get into. Let's go. Okay, so that was Toyfest number 5 on April 20th at the New York State Fairgrounds. Upon entering, they were giving out a little Harry Potter. I like the franchise. I'm just not a huge fan, so this was like a Professor Dumbledore bust ups. Build them, trade them, collect them. I don't know. I'll probably give it to a friend that likes Harry Potter more than I do. So it was cool. You got that upon entering, and you could see there was mostly a wide array of toys. There was only a few people with comics. But I did find the right guy, fortunately for that. Also want to give a shout out to Aaron and Mark of Blue Eyes Auctions Facebook group. They run auctions. I've known them for a few years now. They sell at Balkville Antique Show in the spring and fall. So this is the save the dates for the Balkville Antique Show, the June show. There's May 31st through June 2nd. And then the August show, August 12th through the 18th, and that's the bigger one in the fall. So if any of you are local, or even like an hour away, this is a really good show to go to. I've found some great books there. There's just some amazing antiques to walk around and look at. There's some great food trucks that go there. So you can definitely make a day out of it. And I just wanted to say thank you to them for providing me this so I could get the word out there. And definitely look for them. They'll be along Route 20 selling when you're there, and they have some great books. And there's also another gentleman he was the only one I bought books from there that day that I actually met a year ago this spring. He wasn't in the fall show this past August, but he was at this show. So let me show you what I got from him. Okay, so these all come from my dealer friend, whose name is John. Really nice guy. Ever since I first met him at the Balkville show, I totally forgot that he might even be at the Syracuse show. So when I saw him, it was a welcome surprise, and he came right up and he recognized me. He's like, "Hey, how's your YouTube channel going?" And I was like, "Oh my God, John, I told you that I was just getting into it and stuff, So it was really cool he remembered me. He's a fantastic guy, and he has great books at really great prices. The first one I picked up was, I get these whenever I can, especially when they're cheap. I just kind of like the run. I think it's an underrated run. Was Forbidden Worlds 123 from 1964. This was written by Greg Olivetti and Richard Hughes, and the cover art was by Kurt Schaffenberger. And this is published by the M.O.N.Comics group. Just a really cool a wooden Native American ghost story associated with this cover. And this is like a compilation of, I think, 4 or 5 stories in here. So I got this for $7. I think there's a wrap detached inside, but I really don't care when I can get Silver Age sub $10, especially this title. The Forbidden Worlds really reminds me of like the pre-code trade dress look. It's cool to me. So I had this. I had to pick it up from him, and I had this to my Forbidden Worlds run. I think I smell a collecting goal for next year. The next book is part of a collecting goal I have for this year. Now, the few times I do get out to go into the field and actually hunt comics, I kind of try to approach it like, look for your collecting goals first, and then anything else on top of that you can buy. Kind of like the Forbidden Worlds was like not a collecting goal. So I did find one book that fell into my collecting goal. Of course, I was looking for Adventure to Fear and also Fantastic Four. So Fantastic Four 42 from 1967, of course, written by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. This big metal creature on the front is a piece of Kree tech known as Century number 459. So I have not delved into this story yet, but this was $10, okay? So not only did I, fill a little bit of my run for the Fantastic Four, I've been looking for it for a while, but I see this priced much higher all over the place. Grade, not bad. It's got some tanning to the cover, it's got the white, it's got some damage along the sides there. But for $10, I was ecstatic, and this was from John as well. He just has all the books I want at great prices. There was a gentleman to my right. People were moving from the long boxes from the left to the right. There was a gentleman in front of me with a stack, I kid you not, and I just wondered what he had found in there. Like, he was definitely at the right booth too. So Fantastic Four 64. And the last book I picked up from John, you could see in the footage, there wasn't a ton of comics. There's a lot of toys, a lot of vintage Star Wars toys. I'll talk about that more in a minute. But the last book I picked up was an upgrade. It's Astonishing Tales 13 from 1972, written by Roy Thomas. And, of course, this cover that I'm not a fan of by Rich Buckler and Sam Rosen. So I upgraded my copy. My other one was a little more beat up, and this one's pretty clean. And the other great point of this was it was $5. So this is the first cover appearance of Man-Thing. So I mean, to upgrade a key in my favorite, character for that cheap was a really cool deal. So from John, I was able to get these 3 comics for the low price of $22. So I felt very good about that. It's not often I get to go out and hunt comics in person in a place. So to get 2 books, upgrade one of my keys, fill in a run, and grab something that it's just kind of like quirky to me for $22, it was a huge win. I also want to give a shout out to Art from Samurai Skates. Now, Art's booth was the footage you saw of like the vintage Star Wars carded toys in the back, and then just amazing, amazing grails in the case. I used to collect a lot of vintage Star Wars. I do have like the original kind of run, and I just kind of moved out of it. Collectors change over time, we evolve, but it was fun to see the stuff he had, and I was like, how did you get these amazing, he had just, if your Holy Grail of comics, I could see these were Holy Grail of Star Wars toys. And what had happened was he owned this skate shop in Rochester, New York in the 80s, and his kids phased out from, when they got 14 and 15 and they were phasing out of their Star Wars toys, they would trade them to him for skateboards. And he acquired this massive, amazing collection. And he's like, hey, drop me a message on Facebook Messenger, I'll send you a t-shirt. So I'll show that shirt when it comes in. But Art, if you happen to see this video, just a really cool dude to talk to that's been around for a while, collecting for a while. Awesome guy. So big shout out to Art from Samurai Skates. All right, the next stop I went to is actually where I'll be going to Free Comic Book Day tomorrow. I finally got to hit up this LCS. I'm so glad I did. They're Funky Town Comics and Vinyl in Camillus, New York, which is like part of Syracuse. And they gave me this, it was previewing Free Comic Book Day on May 4th. As you can see, local artist Matt Flint, who did a great Turtles book that I'm going to get signed, but also Joe Jusko is going to be there signing, which is crazy. I've got some Marvel Masterpiece cards on their way in the mail, and some books to sign for my buddy Ryan over at Collecting Casually, and I'm going to make a day out of this. I had never been to the store before, and just like the name says, they have comics and they have vinyl, and they also have action figures. They have some great short boxes and stuff lined up. Actually, I got some footage of it. Let's take a look at that right now, and then we'll come back. All right, we hit the toy show. Now I'm at Funky Town Comics and Vinyl, where I'll be going for Free Comic Book Day. I've never been here, so let's go check it out. So there was a little shot. I know I kind of moved kind of quickly. I'm going to take my time tomorrow when I go up there. But really cool store. You could see they had the long boxes set up. They had figures on the wall. They had another vinyl section, and they had like their wall books. What I really liked about this store and the folks that run it, it's run by three guys. It's a team effort by the name of Jeff, Chris, and Jesse. And what I loved about these guys is, you know, the store's not that big. So I was in the back talking to Jeff, who I've known for quite some time, about Free Comic Book Day, about stuff coming up. And every time someone walked in that door, you know, our conversation wasn't important. But he'd say, "Oh, excuse me for a second. Hey, welcome to Funky Town Comics and Vinyl. What can I help you? What are you looking for today? It's new record day. The vinyl's over there. Our comics are over here." Every customer, that kind of customer service, just it's hard to find these days. And when I see it and I recognize it, I'm just like, you know, you can't help but applaud it. I mean, they were just wonderful, assisting people just coming through the door, cashing people out, talking about what's going on. So I did end up getting one book there, but actually two. I pre-ordered a Funky Town Comics and Vinyl exclusive, Creature from the Black Lagoon, which I'll showcase with my new comic book day video, because I bought it on a Saturday and the release party was Tuesday. I couldn't make it up there. I said, "Do you guys mind holding it till I get here for free comic book day?" And they were like, "Absolutely." So I can't wait to show you that one. It's a modern comic, I know. But the book I did get, I actually saw they had on their wall at Syracuse Collectors Con, and I didn't pull the trigger because I had my daughter with me and I wanted to get a better look at it, see the condition, and take it out. I'm glad I pulled the trigger this time. It is Journey into Mystery number 59 from 1960. So this was written by Stan Lee and Larry Lieber, and the cover is done by Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko. It's a compilation of 5 stories, 5 different like monster stories. And why I really wanted this, I mean, there's a few great things about many great things. It's low grade, but the trade dress is fantastic. Still has that golden age feel. This was a great example of pre-hero Marvel monsters. So these kind of titles were carrying them through from when the comic code came into effect and, you know, cut the legs off a lot of the stuff they're doing, up to the Fantastic Four, which came out in 1961. So this was 1960, a year before. This is also pre-Thor Journey into Mystery. So that's just insane to me. The cover just drew me in. Anyone who's watched my channel long enough knows I love monster covers. Shag might not be the most menacing, but he's doing some damage there. So yeah, I had to pick this book up when I saw it, and I'm glad I got to pull the trigger. I've been really looking for the pre-hero Marvel monster books like this. They're very hard to find, and they're pricey. So I might pick up some more throughout the year, but maybe add to a collecting goal next year. But big shout out to the guys at Funky Town Comics and Vinyl. If you are in the area, if you're close to them, Free Comic Book Day is going to be amazing up there with them. I can't wait to go hang out and see what they got for free comics, but also buy some and get some stuff signed by the legendary Joe Jusko and Matt Flint. So thanks, guys. Always much appreciated. I'll see you on Free Comic Book Day. So those were the stops in Syracuse, New York. The Toyfest, Funky Town Comics and Vinyl. And when I came back through my town, it kind of hit me. Colgate University, where I work, has a bookstore. I was like, they got to have graphic novels or something in there, you know? I mean, nerds are all over the place. So I went in and I saw a few of these books for the different characters or teams, and I knew I had to have this one, and I can't wait to dig into it. But it is the Fantastic Four. It is a Penguin Classic Marvel collection. So what this is, it's like 355 pages. So what it does is there's a series introduction by Ben Saunders, forward by Jerry Kraft, and a volume introduction again by Ben Saunders. And then it takes you from Fantastic Four 1 through 5, and then it talks about building a world, Fantastic Four 6 through 9, and then it gives you issues 10 and 11, or an excerpt from 11. So it's like some of the best stuff from the early Fantastic Four, they figured. Marvel's flagship title, Fantastic Four 12 through 47, and then 48, 49, 50, which is like, you know, the trifecta. So really awesome that they had this there. I think it was only 28 bucks. But I mean, look at this. Like, I can't afford all the comics right now, but this is just beautiful. It has art. There's Fantastic Four number 4, first Silver Age appearance of Submariner. Just really fantastic stuff. I'm so glad I picked this up. I'm going to read this as soon as I get done finishing reading something else that I just got into. I'll show that in a second. But yeah, I couldn't pass this up. As a Fantastic Four fan, I really had to purchase this, and I'm so glad I did. I'm collecting more trade paperbacks these days. I got to build some more display stuff behind me, or like just some bookshelves to house this stuff, because it's getting out of control. So that was a great another local pickup in my hometown at a college bookstore. So shout out to them for carrying this, and what a great time in Syracuse. But let me show you what I've been reading, and you guys can say welcome to the 2024, Brandon. So on rainy days in little old Hamilton, New York, I like to take one or both of my daughters to our local library. I like to encourage reading in them, and they have toys there and like playthings. They can do all sorts of stuff. When I was there, again, I'm like, they got to have a graphic novel section. So I asked them, and they did. And I went over there, and they had the first 6 volumes. I think there's only 7 of a series that people have been telling me is fantastic, and I finally dove in. It is Something's Killing the Children. Creative team of James Tinian IV, Werther Deladera, I might be murdering that, correct me, and Miguel Muerto. Wow. Again, I'm not a modern guy, but a story and some cool art, I'm in. So I picked up the first volume, I rented it out to see if I liked it, and I tore through it. I loved it. So I'm back the next day, and I picked up volumes 2 and 3, tore through those in the same night. And these are the last 3 volumes. I actually have just the 6th to read now, so this is 4 or 5. So I just have this to read. I'm going to read it after I am done with this video, because wow, talk about a really cool story and world they've created. And again, I'll probably get in the comments like, wake up, where have you been? As a non-modern comic collector, it is nice to find stuff at my local library that I can digest and read and say, hey, it might be worth, I might want to pick up the comics that are associated with these because I love these so much. So I've gotten more into reading lately, which has been great, and it's easy to do in trade paperbacks. And I'm so glad I found this series. So yeah, Something is Killing the Children. I'm all in. And I know there's House of Slaughter. I know there's some other spinoffs. So chime in the comments. Is it just House of Slaughter that's a spinoff? And is there only 7 volumes of this out so far? I was trying to do research, but you Google something and so much stuff pops up. It's hard sometimes. So I'd like to hear anything you guys got to say. All right, so pretty fun and eventful little Saturday. Shout out to my wife, Mrs. M.O.N.Comics, for letting me take off to Syracuse for like almost a full day to go have fun. Shout out to Brian. Thanks for going with me, man. It's nice to have someone local into this that I can talk to and possibly goes to shows with. And yeah, I'm really happy about these hauls. Anyone else gotten into pre-hero Marvel monsters? Anyone go there? Does anyone collect Forbidden Worlds? And, I got 3 books for $22. They get it pretty well there. The Journey into Mystery was like a $65 book, which I'm okay, that you just don't see them that often. And anyone else have this? Has anyone delved into this? Or do you have this for other characters? There was a Spider-Man one there. There was an Avengers one. Maybe another one. But yeah, very happy, very, very fun, successful time going out and hunting stuff. Guys, if you are watching this video and you're not subscribed to my channel, if you wouldn't mind taking a moment to do so, I'd really appreciate it. It helps the channel grow, allows me to do more fun things like giveaways and such. So really appreciate everyone hanging out. Hope you guys all have a great weekend, a great free comic book day, and until next time, keep reading those comics.